Okay, today's video is going to have a little bit of culture in it, and that's kind of funny because I don't consider myself a cultured person, and if this is starting to bore you already, just click out. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't mind. I understand, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I love music, all kinds of music. Therefore, I pay attention when I hear a song on the radio, during a movie, on TV, on my daughter's iPod, wherever. I pay attention to what it is because I will go and find the song, find the artist, and I'll download it if I really love it. And just by sheer paying attention, I have found some of the coolest music ever. And this is a two-part blog. This part is going to be about writing. 2 years ago, I wrote a book. Yes, I wrote a book, but don't be impressed because I have not even read the book that I wrote, okay? Seriously, I'm not even kidding. There is a website, and I'll put the link down below, but it's called Nanowrimo, NANOWRIMO.org. Double check that before you try to click on it. And every November, and I think another time during the year, they have a challenge where you take 30 days, November 1st to November 30th, and you write a novel, a 50,000 word novel, which is kind of a short novel. And don't even ask me why, but 2 years ago, I took the challenge. On October 31st, I signed up. And I was going to write a book about my husband and I's adventures in France. And when I sat down to start my book, and I've never written anything more than a paper in college, okay? When I sat down to write my book, I went to the website on November 1, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I noticed it said fiction. So I had to make up a whole book out of my head, fiction, in 30 days and write it and finish it. Well, I did it, and I love the book. I love the idea of the book, the story that the book is about. I love it. However, it's so poorly written. It's taken me 2 years to even let anybody else read it. I have not even read it. I have not. You can't, when you're writing that quickly, you can't go back and look. I have not read the book at all. But 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got my nerve up and I gave it to my daughter, who's 27 and super smart. And I knew she'd be brutally honest, sort of. But she said she liked it. Okay, I said, wow, that's impressive. I can't believe you liked it. But, you know, it's your daughter, so. Then I let my mother read it. And, of course, she was going to like it. I think she would be honest, but, you know, you never know. So, anyway, it has given me a little bit of confidence. Maybe, okay, this whole thing is to tell you about what I wanted to talk about today. While I was writing this book, my character goes back and forward in time and then back in time, and she's trying to escape and da-da-da-da-da, and she falls in love in this book, and all these things happen. But when I wanted to have a mood when I was writing. You know, I was just sitting here every day. I had to write thousands and thousands of words every day to get to 50,000 in 30 days. So it was like I needed a mood thing. Well, one day, about 5 or 6 days into my book, and it was like November 5th or 6th, my daughter was playing music. This is my 16-year-old daughter, who was probably 14 at the time. She was playing some music. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. What is that? And she goes, the soundtrack to New Moon. And I went, that is so cool. So I went online and she downloaded the one that said soundtrack various artists. I went online and downloaded New Moon, the score. Now, by New Moon, I'm talking about Twilight. I'm assuming you all know that. Oh my gosh. This is the most haunting music. It is so awesome. It's got, you know, excitement and all this stuff. And I guess that's when the werewolves and the vampires are fighting or something. But I played it every day while I was typing because it didn't have any words because it's the score. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And it helped me write some of the parts of my book when I needed them to be in love. I'd play the part where, you know, Edward and Bella were together. And the music totally, you know, evokes that feeling of love and everything. Anyway, okay. Because I downloaded the score, I saw that the composer was someone named Alexandre Desplat. I don't know how to say it. He's French, of course. I didn't know that at the time. But I fell so in love with his music that I decided to look him up this morning. And he had a Greek mother, a French father. He was born, I think, or the parents met at Berkeley, I guess, California. And it says he was classically trained. Now, I don't know where he was born. He was born probably in France. But anyway, he was classically trained. It said he was fed a constant diet of American jazz and Hollywood movie scores. And the website says these influences have been fused in his music to create a fresh and unique new voice in film music. This guy's amazing. Okay, all that to tell you, the other night, I'm sitting in Harry Potter, like the rest of the universe, watching the very last movie, and the music in there was so good. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. This is so good. I'm totally sitting here until the very end and see who wrote this music because I want the score to this movie as well. It was the same guy, Alexandre Desplat, Desplat. Anyway, I just thought that was so cool. And so then I started doing a little bit more research on him today. And he did the soundtrack for King's Speech. One of my favorite movies, Julie and Juliet. Do you remember that? How Julie had a certain little musical thing, and then in New York, and then in France, Julia Child had her certain kind of music. It was so adorable, so cute. Couldn't believe it was the same guy. He also wrote the soundtrack for The Queen. He wrote the soundtrack for The Girl with the Pearl Earring. He has won all kind of awards, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. I just think that it's so cool when you find something like that, and then I practically recognize, because I was thinking in my mind during Harry Potter, this sort of reminds me in a weird way of Twilight. Yeah, of course it did. So anyway, that's my whole thing I'm telling you. I will let you know what I do with this book. I'm kind of inspired to at least read it for myself and see. I kind of know what happens in the book, but my daughter called me the other day and she says, I can't believe you killed the little boy. And I was like, what little boy? That's how much I don't remember what I wrote. Then I did remember, but a couple of different things she said to me, I don't even remember I didn't know what she was talking about. That's pretty, I don't know if that's funny or bizarre. It's probably, I don't know, it could mean that my book is so unforgettable that 2 years later I don't even remember the characters. Anyway, okay. I'm signing out now. I don't even know what you're going to think of this YouTube because it's so weird, but that's how it goes. Off to the beach. Bye-bye.